Is Grow Garden dying again? That seems to be the question going around a lot recently after the most recent update has just gotten delayed inside of the game. And in this video, I wanted to answer that as truthfully as possible, going over all of the information we know and what we can actually take away from it to know if the game is dead or not. Now, as you know, the BZB update was actually supposed to be in the game this week. As of right now, though, it does say that this update is coming out in 4 days and 17 hours instead. This happened because Jandel decided that the update was actually not ready to be posted, and therefore he postponed it, and that means we literally got nothing new. The Easter event has actually stayed for, I believe, 5 weeks now. And this was the statement that Jandel put out. He said, "Hey everyone, Jandel here. Unfortunately, I am not happy with how the B event is looking, so I am going to delay it. In the past, me and the team would have just stayed up all night trying to rush something out, blah blah blah." Overall, he said how this is like an entirely new era of Grow Garden, and he doesn't want to release a game or an update that we will be disappointed about, aka something that we genuinely will find fun, and there's not going to be any complaints about it. Now, I actually did mention in my last video that I did get early access to play this update. I was able to play this Busy Bee event, which nobody has access to, a whole lot earlier because they just give it to content creators. As my own personal opinion, I thought the update was actually really cool. They had a lot of features like an upgrade system. I don't know. They had like things where, you know, you could get bees to help you pollinate your garden and a bunch of really cool stuff, including new transcendence, which I will get into later on. He then said we will announce the new release date soon. I am thinking either midweek like Wednesday or next weekend. And well, as you can tell, it is obviously going to be next weekend. The developers are taking a whole nother week in order to ensure it's the way that at least Jandel wants it to be. I thought it was really good, but it's gonna go a little bit longer. Now, as soon as this came out, since we have been sitting on the Easter update for a while, a lot of speculations came out that Grow a Garden is dying, and that is what I wanted to get into in this video. For example, SpongeBan in the Discord said Gag is dying again, low-key. It went from like 200k to 80k. This guy said, why did Gag die so quickly? Guys, why is Gag dying again? These were basically all of the things that I was reading and something that I was just really curious about because I wanted to see if the game is actually really dying. And we're going to go ahead and get into some research. At the time I'm recording right now, the game's at 70,000 players, which, don't get me wrong, this is actually far better than it was a few months ago. However, is it actually better than it was 2 or 3 weeks ago? And the truthful answer to that is no, and absolutely not. The game has actually taken a downturn, which is exactly the reason why I'm making this video, and I wanted to explore why that may be so. Obviously, the Busy Bee event getting delayed is definitely a factor, but something else that's a big factor is the fact we've been sitting on the same Easter update for the past few weeks. We've actually added in here forever, and we used to actually have the Candy Blossom right here, which, as you can see now, it is gone. But thanks to this website, Rolling Moms, we can actually go look at the game's player count right here. If we set it to daily and look at all time, this was during the peak of Grow a Garden. This was like the entire like Roblox population on the game. But if we scope it down to more recently, as you can see, Grow a Garden went up and now it is actually coming down. This is the stage where we are at, and this is where we were before. And as you can see, it is dropping down. And this is also taking into fact all of the events that the game has had. So the admin abuses that we've gotten over the weekends, as well as the Watering Wednesdays, which happen every single Wednesday inside the game. They basically do like a 30-minute admin abuse, which is really good. You can get some insane rewards. I mean, personally, I've actually managed to get a lot of egg snappers, bro. Like, look at this. I have 6 egg snapper seeds, and the best part is, for the egg snappers and literally any seed in your inventory, you will be able to place these inside of the brand new event. You actually do not have to use specific stuff that is based off of the Busy Bee event in order to place it in the Busy Bee garden. It's going to be very similar to this, how you have an Easter garden, except it's a bee garden and you can use all of your plants. So that's a really good part about it. But after Jandal announced this, he actually even went and said, I will still do an admin abuse and make sure it's OP. And then he actually did it. During this time, I was actually out, so I did not get to participate in the admin abuse, but we are able to see how big of a difference that actually made. And well, the admin abuse actually happened at this time right here. If we go ahead, zoom in, it was at this point on Saturday at 5 p.m. And as you can see, the game's player count went up to 242,000. You might say, well, numerous, that is insane. That is an awesome player count. Don't get me wrong, it absolutely is. But let's look at something else as well. If we look at the previous weekend, you will notice the scale is going to significantly decrease. And that is because this last weekend, the game got over 1.1 million players for the finale part of the Easter event. And then literally 1 week after that, it got less than a fraction. The drop was so big that even most of the biggest streamers who typically stream this game did not even come around for the update. They might have just streamed the admin abuse. That's it. Now, the truth is, on Roblox, player count doesn't dictate whether or not a game is actually going to die and whether or not Grow Garden is going to be back to its old stages where there's no Jandel, no admin abuses, and none of the good stuff that has even me back in the game. For those to actually happen, there's gonna have to actually be a lot more, because right now if you go take a look at the events and you click onto the Busy Bee, which by the way, it is Saturday, May 9th at 3 p.m. and we are getting a Watering Wednesday, thank God. But if we look at the Busy Bee event, you will see that there is already over 1.5 million people interested in this event, meaning that 1.5 million people in the entire world are going to get notified as soon as this Busy Bee event is right around the corner. And while you're probably wondering, what does it actually have to offer to get players to actually play the game? Obviously, the Candy Blossom is gone forever, but this update is far more unique than anything I've ever seen, and I actually have a lot of leaks to show you guys. One of the craziest thing is this upgrade tree platform, which I have shown it to you guys before, but this is a completely brand new feature that will be coming into the game, and you're probably wondering what it is. This is actually similar to a skill tree. It's basically like you can get upgrades in a row, but you have to go in a specific pathway, and let me show you what I mean exactly. This is actually a leak straight from the update. As you can see, there's a bunch of pathways that you can go, or these hexagons that you can follow, and this actually allows you to upgrade different aspects of your bee garden, such as your bee speed, your compressor capacity, meaning you can make more honey coins at once, your pollination amounts, your compressor speed, like the time it takes to actually make the honey coins, and as well as things like your bee capacity, like how many bees you can actually have on your garden. Like I said, bees in this update were supposed to be kind of like pets. They will follow you around and they will actually go and pollinate every single little thing in your garden. That way you can collect it, bring it into the middle, and sell it for some honey coins, or I guess compress it is what it's called. And I mean, they had different eggs that came with a whole bunch of different bees. Like you had the royal bee, which is graceful and powerful, high quality pollen at a steady pace. You had the turbo bee, the treasure bee, the princess bee, and the illusion bee. There was also way more than this. From my own personal testing, like I said, this is by far one of the best updates I've actually seen. And to be honest, it was my favorite. I can't lie. I genuinely do not see any way that the developers can actually make it better with this extra week that they're giving themselves. But hey, I'm honestly very interested to see what could change, because like I said, it was very, very good. But the sad thing is, the Busy Bee update was supposed to be here over 2 weeks ago. Fun fact, we weren't even supposed to get a finale update inside of this event. Like, we were never supposed to have this commander carrot dude over here with this event going on. This stuff was actually introduced in a way of making a small update to make room for the Busy Bee update for the developers to make it. However, apparently they still did not finish, and this week around we actually just didn't get an update at all. So is it better than getting an Easter event part like 1 billion, or would you rather get no update? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Also, the game is not on top trending right now. If you look at the top trending games on Roblox, Grow a Garden is actually nowhere to be really found. And this is what Roblox kind of uses in order to put a game on the algorithm. And if you look at the charts, top trending is literally the first thing you see. And unfortunately, Grow a Garden is not on there. Up and coming is, I believe, for newer games, if I'm saying this right. And yeah, I mean, I definitely do not see Grow a Garden on here either. The only spot it is in is top playing now, which obviously this is literally based off of top most popular games. And as you can see, Grow a Garden is right here. It used to actually be ahead of Steal a Brainrot like 2 weeks ago, where it had around 200,000 players. But unfortunately, since we have been sitting in the Easter event for so long, it has not been able to break this game. How is Brainrot still popular, bro? Somebody please explain it to me. But if I'm being absolutely honest, I think once this Busy Bee event comes into the game is gonna shoot back up into the sky, because not only have the developers actually gone ahead and extended the servers, meaning that every single admin abuse from now on, the developers are able to launch a bunch more events. They're able to do events that are much crazier, and that way your game doesn't crash or lag as much. They basically improved the servers, that way the game can handle more, and Roblox and all that stuff doesn't crash on you while the event is happening. So they are definitely planning for much bigger things. And trust me, simply because of an update getting delayed, they are not going to ruin their chances and, you know, just stop updating the game. It is literally just one time that the player count is dropping. And then once again, as soon as they get back into the rhythm, hopefully, it will go back up. I have also made videos going fully in depth on the League's Grow a Garden 2, because fun fact, if you don't know, the developers are working on a brand new game. It's an entirely new Grow a Garden game. It is called Grow a Garden 2, and a lot of the same aspects you see in this game are going to be there, except it's going to be a lot more fresh. It's new, and honestly, it could be even more popular than we have for the current Grow Garden, but who really knows? The leaks for that are a little bit limited, but I did make a video on it, so I highly recommend you check it out if you want more information. I should mention this update is so in-depth because not even do you only get one mutation from your bees pollinating, but there's actually the chance to get up to 4 different kinds of mutations, all of them ranging from the worst all the way to the best. So there's a lot of content that is actually packed into this, and I see why the developers want to make sure they take their absolute best chances on it. Jandel clearly thought this update was not good enough, because he did say, "I am sorry, but at the same time not. If I thought this update was good enough for the community to enjoy, I would release it," and clearly he did not. I really cannot wait to actually start recording on this. I've already recorded my update video for you guys, and I can't wait for you to see all of the content that is packed into the update. But I might have to go update that video if they actually add in more content. But trust me, this upcoming weekend, you do not want to miss it. I will definitely be sure to make a video on how you can prepare yourself for it, but as well as knowing literally every single little thing you need to know as soon as the update is out. So make sure you subscribe. Thank you. But the biggest recommendation I have is to actually participate in the Watering Wednesday. I promise you this event is going to be so worth it. You're going to get prepped for the update. They're going to give you a bunch of rewards and stuff to actually, you know, have in case the update needs any sprinklers, all that good stuff, seeds, and a bunch of different things. Remember, you will literally be able to use any seed in your garden inside of the bee garden. So you're gonna want to get the best seeds you can. What I would recommend doing is literally just go to the shop, bro, and click through everything a few times, and maybe even get some transcendence. I mean, they give out a lot during the admin abuses. If you enjoyed this video, though, please hurry up and watch this video on the screen right here. I went ahead and picked it for you myself. I really think you're gonna enjoy it, but click it fast because this video is about to end. And hurry, click it. It's a way better video. Until then, I'll catch you in that one. Bye bye. Subscribe.